Greetings, YouTubers, and welcome to the first episode of Exihbeo. I'm Olden Zeus Mr. Pace.
And I'm ATB.
Today, we've decided to go with a movie review. We're going to be reviewing Jurassic World, and for each movie that we do, we have a set standard of questions, 10 of them, as a matter of fact, and we will be tackling each of them during the course of this review. So, ATB. Question number 1. How does the movie relate to the rest of the series?
Well, I thought it was pretty good. It went really well with the previous Jurassic Park shows. It really made a lot of references to Jurassic Park 1 and 2. There was 3. It didn't really mention it. There wasn't any references about 3.
Well, there really weren't any references to number 2.
Oh well.
That was all references to number 1.
Well, anyway, if you haven't seen Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3, preferably 1, because that's where all the references revolve around, you really won't understand what they're talking about, most likely. So, I got nothing to say after that.
Well, I will say that I am astounded about how well it fits into the series. Because when you go into this movie, you have to go in with the thought. The park has been open for 10 years. It's been open since 2005. And this all takes place after the events that happened on the first island, after the events that happened on the second island, and after the events that happened on the third movie. And really, I've heard that it ignores Jurassic Park 2 and 3, but there are a lot of issues that happen because of the ignoring of Jurassic Park 2 specifically, and we'll probably talk about that a little later on. So question number 2 is, how does it hold up to expectations?
To my expectations, it held up pretty good. What I seen from the trailers is how I expected it to be. The trailers were action-packed, really good, and I expected it to be like that, and it was like that.
I will say my expectations, being a long-term Jurassic Park world, I've been waiting for this movie for a very long time.
Me too. When I first heard about it, I was like, I can't wait till this movie comes out. I'm gonna see it.
I pulled a lot of strings to get to see this movie.
And then I seen they made like 3 trailers. They made the first trailer, seen that. Second trailer, and then third trailer. My heart was beating. I was like, oh, I was halfway dead.
Well, you're already halfway there as it is. But it was really a wonderful film, and it holds up to anyone's expectations or standards of Jurassic Park. Now, question number 3: how does it relate to social issues? This is a very unique question because you don't hear this much in movie reviews.
Well, in Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3, they showed the women constantly being afraid of the dinosaurs. In Jurassic World, you don't see that. The woman is a fighter.
Well, I will say in Jurassic Park 1 and 2, the women are actually intrigued by dinosaurs. In Jurassic Park 2, the woman is the reason why the dinosaurs are coming out there and killing the people, because she decided to take, well, it wasn't really her fault entirely, it was Nick Van Owens, but decided to take the baby T-Rex back to the trailer to do surgery on it.
Yeah, except for that lady. That lady was a fighter. But I'm talking about like Jurassic Park
3,
where the woman is out there yelling.
And all she's doing is screaming. In Jurassic Park 3, her character was annoying. But you stole my segment there about the social issues, because when you look at this part here, the women in this movie are portrayed very strongly, especially Claire, played by Bryce Dallas Howard, and she is a very strong, independent female character, and in the duration of this entire film, you only see her scream once, legitimately, and that's when the Velociraptor burst through the side of the window of the veterinarian's mobile, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, the whatever you want to say.
And she's an extremely strong character. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, the feminists, those extremely radical ones, are probably going to be up in arms about the death of a female character. And if you take a look at this, excluding the Lost World, because we don't know if any women died in that movie for certain. But in this movie, you actually have a confirmed female death, the only one in the series.
Lost World, is that the second one?
The second movie when they go to San Diego.
I don't think any women died.
I don't think so either, but it's not, you can't really tell because the tourist is running amok in San Diego, so you can't really tell for certain. But here, the mosasaur eats the woman. You know, the moment you thought when you seen that, you thought the mosasaur was going to come up and take the pterodactyl, but the pterodactyl has the girl in her arms, and the mosasaur just comes up and eats them both.
Yeah.
And it's really a tragic way to die, but you know, it's kind of funny in a sad kind of way. Now, question number 4. What are the faults of the movie?
To me, there was no faults. I thought it wasn't perfect. But I didn't really see any faults. I'm sure it wasn't perfect. In every movie, there's going to be either major faults or minor faults. But I don't. If I like the movie, I like it, and I don't really look for faults. Some movies I will find faults, but most movies like that, if I like it, I'll watch it. I'm not really looking for faults.
The major faults that I see, I don't really see a lot, but I do see one major issue that could have been clarified if they had made reference to Jurassic Park 2, and that is the fact that the Tyrannosaur in Jurassic World is the Tyrannosaur from the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first movie, we hear that Dr. Wu created a faulty enzyme, a faulty gene that would not allow them to process the amino acid lysine. Unless they were supplied lysine by the park management, they would slip into a coma and die. And since the island's been evacuated for 10 years, or Jurassic Park 3, 1993 to 2005, it was evacuated for approximately 7 years, maybe 8. So there's no one there to supply with the lysine, and they could have taken a picture out of Jurassic Park 2 and said that, well, we know the dinosaurs survived because the herbivores ate plants that were rich in lysine, and the carnivores ate the herbivores. So they could have avoided that if they made a reference to Jurassic Park 2. But other than that, I don't really see any major flaws. Now, number 5 is how established are the characters in the movie?
Well, define what you mean. What established? How established are they?
Well, how are the characters presented? Do the characters have a good role? Do they feel complete, so to speak?
The main character, Chris Pratt, he acts like
Chris Pratt is the main character. He's the actor of the main character.
Well, I know.
Owen Grady's the main character.
Chris Pratt, same thing. Play the same character.
They don't play the same character.
They're the same person.
They're the same person, but they're not the same character. One of them's playing the character.
But he seems complete with those raptors. How he controls them.
Well, he doesn't control them. He specifically explains that it is a mutual respect.
How he respects them, but with respect comes control.
It's not control. It's just trust. I mean, the raptors turned against him and were going to kill him. Yeah, you know.
For all I know, you could turn against me. I don't know.
I try to every time I get the chance. The characters in this movie to me, the main character in this movie to me is the Indominus Rex. Because that's the first thing you see when the movie starts off is the Indominus Rex hatching. And the Indominus Rex is, we have 15 minutes. The Indominus Rex is, is extremely extraordinary because of what they were able to do with this dinosaur. And the only characters I have an issue with are the kids, because the kids seem like they were just thrown in there to give you a feel of Jurassic Park 1 because the two kids were in peril. And in this one, the kids, they have good character. The older one, he's a rebel and almost got the two boys killed because he disobeyed the rules. Now gets another thing with the safety
Yeah,
issues of the park.
lesson learned, people. There's a reason why they make rules.
Yeah, I mean, especially in a park
I
full
mean,
of dinosaurs.
yeah.
I mean, I see
And
either one of them could have killed the kids.
Yeah, unless you plan on getting killed. I mean, that was a good idea if you plan on getting killed.
I mean, let's think about that. I mean, they're going through the herbivore area. If they pissed off the Triceratops could have rammed one of those 3-foot horns straight through the thing.
I don't know the official name for what you so-called paleontologists call it, but I call it a long neck. They could have stomped on
A
them.
sauropod.
Yeah.
And the one that they featured in Jurassic Park and Jurassic World is the Apatosaurus. And they could have, and especially considering the weight that they have, and then that's what you see with Ankylosaurus, how it's just about shatters the glass with one swing of its tail.
I mean, yeah. For all you know, those long necks could have played soccer with them.
Could you imagine that? Number 6. How is the atmosphere of the movie presented?
The atmosphere was pretty decent. It was not really much to say about that.
I say the overall park was extremely beautiful, but as for the feel of the movie, the moment the Indominus Rex is introduced, it's suspenseful all the way through.
Yeah, this is one part. At first, when the movie starts, you get this kind of feel that it's gonna be all right. It's not gonna be like the previous Jurassic Park movies, but then later on, like in the middle of the movie, everything starts going down, and then you just start getting really excited. Your blood starts pumping. You just wanna punch somebody. Ow.
Okay. Number 7. The staff of the movie. Now I have to say, I didn't know a lot about the director going into this movie, and I still don't really know the director's name. But when I was going to go watch this movie, I was going to watch it either way because it's related to Jurassic Park. But I was put at peace to know that Steven Spielberg was still behind the scenes.
Hey, how do you say you don't know the director's name? But yeah, his name
Spielberg is the executive producer.
Oh, the director. Oh, I thought he was the director.
No, he's the executive producer.
Oh.
The director's name, I don't know the director's name, but
it wouldn't have held up to everyone else's expectations if the other director had done it.
If Joe Johnson had done it, my gosh, it would have ruined the franchise.
Everyone.
I hear rumors that he wanted to. Well, the militarize the dinosaurs plan was still in there and active, but he wanted to really throw it out there and attach guns to the dinosaurs.
That wouldn't have really made a whole lot of sense.
So I'm glad Spielberg told Johnson, just go away.
That's the thing about Steven Spielberg. I think he looks at it as a very logical point of view.
Well, Steven wanted to make it real, and that brings another thing. Stan Winston died during production before this movie was made, and he was the one that made the original animatronics for the dinosaurs. And they had a new team that was still working with Stan Winston's team, but it would have been a lot better had Stan Winston taken part in it too, I believe.
About the animatronics, I heard before this movie even came out, I heard a lot of people say that this movie was going to be not so good because they used a lot of
CGI?
they used a lot of CGI in it, and when I watched it, I didn't really see a lot of CGI. I mean, I know it was CGI, but it didn't really look noticeable to me.
Yeah, I mean, some people just try to point out the small things, but let's move on. Number 8. How was the climax of the movie?
Climax was very intense.
Well, I'd say it's the best part of the movie. You know what's going to happen when Claire goes to the gate, strikes the flare, and tells him to open the gate.
Yeah,
you don't even need words. If you watch the first movie, you don't even need people to tell you that about what's going to happen. Because once that flare goes off, you know that you. And as a matter of fact, they teased you about it in the beginning, where they said go at the Tyrannosaurus Kingdom, where they showed the Tyrannosaurus ready to eat the goat. They threw a flare by the goat.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to remind you that she's still in here, and they didn't, and they saved her to the end. And then the final fight scene. What do you think about the final fight?
Thought it was. I was about to die. I was about to just die right there in my seat. The I-Rex, the T-Rex, and then that was intense. And then the Mosasaurus.
Well, you forgot the Raptor Blue.
The Raptors, and the way that T-Rex, or the way that I-Rex slung that Raptor, I was like, oh, no you didn't. Oh, no you didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was intense. I mean, I enjoyed it. The music in the background really made it feel bad. You know, I had a whole feel to it. I was like, the Godzilla was like, I whispered in his ear and said, let them fight.
It's like, I-Rex was like, oh, don't you talk back to me.
And it was extremely good. Number 9, our rating. What do you rate the movie?
I rate it a 9.5.
I'm going to give it a 9.8. Just simply because I'm a fan of it, and it did live up to expectations. It's not quite 10, but it's not bad. Now, for a recap, we've decided that the movie really does give rest to the rest of the series. It holds up to great expectations. It relates to a lot of social issues, extremely going towards strong female characters. And the only major flaws that we can find is that it doesn't explain how the Tyrannosaurus survived east of Nublar. The characters are well established, minus the children. The atmosphere was very suspenseful. The staff of the movie, Steven Spielberg, wonderful. And what we have as our overall climax of the movie was probably the best part of the movie. So in total, our rating is going to be a 9.6.
Yes. Well, I would have rated mine at 10, but oh heck, well I'll just rate it a 10. I'll just rate it 10. I thought it was good. It's 10 worthy.
10 gold blooms over 10 gold blooms. But there you have it, our Jurassic World review. We thank you for your time, your views. If you like what we're doing here, share and subscribe. And also visit us on our Facebook page or our website if you have any suggestions or would like to get any type of advice from either one of us. Send us some comments below or send us a comment on the Facebook page or the website. And I'm Oden's Mr. Pace.
And I'm ATV.
And this has been our first episode of Exihbeo. We hope to see you again.